Hi, so this is another quick video to learn how to use Delta Kusto. In this video, we're going to see how to authenticate in Delta Kusto. So a quick recap, there are three ways to authenticate. We can either use an MSI, we can pass an already authenticated token, or we can pass credentials so that Delta Kusto can authenticate on our behalf. So in three cases, it's with the service principal and Azure Active Directory service principal. In this video, we're going to cover the authentication with credentials. So the bottom one in the documentation page that we see on screen right now. For that, we first need a service principal. So let's quickly walk through that. I go to Azure Active Directory, app registration. You can do that with a command line. I'm just going to show you how to do that with a portal today. So new registration, we just need a name. In this case, I'm going to call it Delta Kusto Demo. And that will be it. Register. So I need a couple of pieces of information. I need the tenant ID. This is this thing over here. I'm going to copy that. I'm going to need the application ID, also called the client ID. I'm going to copy that. And finally, I need a secret. The secret is not created by default, so I'm going to go and create one. So certificate and secrets. Here I'm going to use a secret, new client secret, description for CLI. Take it for 6 months. It means that in 6 months, this secret is going to be revoked and won't be able to authenticate anymore. So be mindful of that. Add, and I don't want the ID, I want the value over here. So I'm going to copy that. Those are the three pieces of information that I need. With that, I can fill any one of those YAML files with the tenant ID, client ID, and secret. Now, something important is now that I've created my service principal, I need to give some permission to that service principal so it can do work on my behalf. So in order to do that, I'm going to go in the portal, my cluster. I won't use the access control. That would be for the control plane. I need to give permission on the data plane. That's in the permissions tab. I could go database per database, but I won't do that here. I'll just give admin, all database admin permission to this Delta Kusto demo here. Select and save. If you have multiple databases, it would be a great idea to do that per database. Let's go and see how we would do that. So you have two databases. I have dev and prod. So let's say I'd like to give some permission, my service principal on the dev database. I go to permission, role I could select. In order to do any meaningful work, we need to be either viewer to consume the content of the database or admin to change the structure. In my case, it would be admin because I want to read and write, but if it would be a database, I just look at the structure of the database, just look at the function table, policy, etc. But I don't write on it. I could be viewer, but otherwise it would be admin. But I don't need the other ones. Although, so I would select admin here, and again, I would select my service principal, and that service principal would now have permissions. All right, that was a quick video to show you how to set up a service principal to do work on your behalf on Delta Kusto and how to capture the information we need, the tenant ID, the client ID, and the secret for the service principal. With that, we're ready to start using Delta Kusto.